Hey, in this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 of the longest and straightest drivers in golf history. That's Couples, Snead, and Daly. And right after this, I'm going to show you what made them great and the things that you can copy from each of their swings so you can get a little longer and straighter too. Stay tuned. Okay, let's launch right into it. There's very few golfers you ever see look as relaxed and effortless, but yet so powerful as Fred Couples. So the word that comes to my mind with him is supple. So if there was one thing you could copy from Fred Couples' swing, it would be the opposite of what the average golfer out there does, is to be supple. So here's a few tips and drills that can help you kind of copy that Fred Couples look. Number 1, I call this the shake it out. See how I'm shaking out? I'm just letting my wrists flip back and forth almost at the ligaments. I'm not trying to use muscle to do it. Secondly, what you can do, I call this the elephant trunk exercise. If you were to just let your arms hang from the shoulder and completely go limp, let them be dead weight. And then what I want you to do is just rock your shoulders back and forth. And you see the arms are moving completely dead weight, just dangling from the ligaments. And they're moving because of the motion I'm doing from my hips rocking my torso. So there you start to get a feel for what Fred Couples was kind of doing. He was allowing the hub of the wheel, so the leg action, the hip action, rotating the trunk back, and almost allowing his arms to be almost like a carnival ride, where it's just dangling and only rotating back because of the rotation of the wheel itself, but never getting tense. Now let's move on to Snead. Snead was a big guy, but is also extremely flexible, just like Fred Couples. But I'm going to move off the supple piece for now, and I'm going to move to another idea that Snead promoted, and that was active hands. Active hands means that you're not going to pull the club through. You're not going to squeeze it and try to muscle it through. And this is what a lot of short hitters do. But instead, you're going to snap it through with very active and, of course, supple wrists. I think a great exercise to start to feel that is just using an alignment stick and getting it to make a swoosh sound. Eventually, you'll be good that you'll be able to make your own driver make a swoosh sound. But if you're really short hitting, this is a good place to start because it's so much easier to make that sound. The basic motion we're after would be this exercise here. Notice I've got the club cocked to here 90 degrees. And this is just an isolation of what we want the wrists and the elbows to do. We'd be going from here to here. So we have 180 degrees of freedom around a centered handle. So I'm not pulling this, I'm not relocating this end of the stick, I'm just simply keeping it center and pivoting the head 180 degrees around it. Notice how the right elbow slightly folds or bends to support the left arm, which will be straight and maintaining the radius. Once you get to here, now your right arm takes over and it's straight while the left arm starts to fold at the elbow. That's a great drill to do every day to remember what the hands and the wrists and the elbows are supposed to do in a good, powerful golf swing. Now, if you were to raise up and stand up straight and therefore put the club right about belt level out in front of you and make the same motion, it would look like this. Okay, same motion, we're just tall now, right? Now, if we start to use our suppleness, do that shakeout, the Couples, I don't really care where this goes type of attitude, be very free and very quick with your active hands. You can start making this thing swoosh. You can make it swoosh more if now you start to add a little bit of turn and turn to it. You can start to see how you can really start to build That sound, that swoosh sound, making it louder and louder is what you're looking for. Now, when it comes to John Daly, obviously the length of his swing, both at the top of the swing, but also in the follow-through. And if you remember what young John Daly was doing, he was probably swinging the club close to 130 miles per hour back in 1991 when he won the PGA Championship, and he was flying the ball a little over 300 yards off the tee with that equipment back then. Now, I know there's a lot of other YouTube teachers that want you to settle for a 3/4 swing as you get older, but this is not what the greats of the game did, who were successful in competing in major championships over the age of 50. So if you take Phil Mickelson, for example, if you were to take Sam Snead again, if you were to take Tom Watson, nearly winning the British Open at, what was he, 59, 60 years old, they did not settle for the 3/4 swing. They kept their swing super long. But we need to reverse the trend. So I'm using the Orange Whip trainer here, and you can pick one of these up on my website. This is a fantastic tool, the best I've found for lengthening your swing and getting you on a nice even tempo to make you hit the ball more consistently. But for now, we're going to use it for our John Daly drill. And I'm just intentionally going to swing the club as far as I can past parallel, feeling like I'm making a John Daly swing. It's easy to do because we've got the flexi shaft, and we've got the heavy orange ball. So here comes my John Daly swing. Now, it doesn't have to be a hard swing, but what I'm trying to do is I'm going to take it back so far past parallel that I can see that thing, the orange ball, out of my left eye. And then when I follow through, I want to follow through wrapping it all around my back and even pointing it past the camera and more up the fairway. So let's do one more of those. You'll see what I mean. I'm going to see this out of my left eye and then see it out of my right eye as it starts to point more up the fairway. All right, I'm really glad you stuck around for this last one, because although this is subtle and will take you some practice, this is absolute magic when you get this going. One of the things I think John Daly did that is completely unappreciated, but I think he was maybe one of the best ever at. You might have seen this exercise before, but you may not understand why it is so magical. Because what John Daly did so well was he caused the handle end of the stick to slow down coming into impact the most abruptly. So if you were really good at slowing the handle down, you might be able to slow it down from its max speed, which just about every good golfer occurs right about here. This is right about where the handle of the club reaches maximum speed. And of course, if it was to continue speeding up or staying the same, the head would never want to come around and speed up. The head would want to drag behind it and only go as fast as the handle was moving. I want you to watch as I pin my arm back across my body. So I keep moving this way. You see that? My arm actually bounced backwards off the pole. And what that does is, remember, I'm isolating here. I'm only swinging arm and wrist. But you see that making the handle actually back up. This is exactly what you see in young Daly in pictures of him at impact. His arm was easily the most pinned back across his chest to make him look like he was hitting off his right hip and his right thigh. So to recap, we're looking for the suppleness of Fred Couples. Relax from the shoulders down all the way through the swing. We're looking for the active hand action of Snead, 180 degrees of freedom. We're looking for the length and the release of John Daly, and we can put all those things together. We can hit some nice long and straight drives. Here's my best version of all the things we've just been talking about. So everything I've given you today can be done, should be done every day, and doesn't even need a golf club or a golf ball. You can just practice these drills, and I think you're going to see Next time you go to the range, next time you play, you're going to start to sneak out a little more speed and distance. If I don't see you in the next video, I hope to see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.